fellow YouTubers. Hey, this is just a short video to give some additional tips that might help you execute the power steering fluid complete flush that you've seen on other better videos, more complete ones than this one. But this is specific to a 2008 Honda Pilot. Just a few things. I think about 4 things here that are specific here that might help you do this better. I learned from those other ones, but I didn't see anybody doing it on a 2008. And I thought I saw some things in my vehicle that might make it easier that I could add on to those other videos. So go check out those other videos for sure. But we're doing a complete power steering fluid flush on a 2008 Honda Pilot. Okay, so the first thing I thought of was just from a previous maintenance project. You got to get at your power steering reservoir here. Well, it's kind of tough to reach way down in there, but the washer fluid thing comes right out of there. And this is on a bracket too. You can see the bracket right in the center of the screen now. That will help you get that reservoir up and out of there so you can work with it and get this out of the way. Just pull this right up and it'll sit right over there. The hose is nice and long. It just lifts straight up out of that bracket. Here, I'll show you. Just pull that thing straight up and put it over there. This thing comes right up out of that bracket there. And then you can work with this. Move it around this plastic housing thing. Then you can get at this, because what you got to do is, okay, see that silver bracket thing right in the center of the screen there? You're going to want to pull that off, and I'm going to take the light away, and you can still see it. Like the other videos say, you're going to want to take a pair of needle nose pliers, and you are going to want to then, of course, take that thing, slide it down this way, and you're going to have this thing pulled up out of there, and then drain that, of course, like everybody else does with a turkey baster or whatever. You even got enough room in here. If you had a clear container, you could just dump it straight out. Then you're going to have to plug that inlet pipe there, because that's the inlet for the fluid. That's the outlet coming out right down there. And then also you're going to have fluid coming out of here. So you get yourself a 5-foot long piece of this clear tubing at the hardware store. And the key is this: on a 2008 Honda Pilot, this tubing fits perfectly inside there. You just slide it in there about an inch. I really couldn't get it in there much further. And then this is 5 feet long, okay? And you run that down to your reservoir, but I would run that through the engine compartment straight down to the garage floor down there, so the fluid doesn't have to come up and out. It might work up and out, but at 5 feet long, it goes straight through the compartment. It goes down to, you can catch it in a milk jug at the beginning. And then when you think it's going to start getting clear, I pulled it out here so the wife could come out and see if it was coming out clear. And you might be asking, what's the outside diameter that it fits on the inside diameter of that tube down there? And it is, I just measured it, exactly 3/8 outside diameter. I got the clear stuff so that I could really see if when the stuff turned clear. Some of the tubing's not so clear, might not be quite as obvious, but work with what you got. Okay, then here is a couple more items that I think you'll find helpful. Just got this stuff at AutoZone. That's not really what I'm talking about here, but I got 2 quarts of this stuff. And you fill the reservoir, you pump with the steering wheel, you pump out the fluid, then you fill it some more and pump it out, pump it out. All this to tell you that I went through a complete one of these and this much, and right there it started coming out clear. And also to know when it starts coming out clear, and not have to worry about putting too much through there and running out. Oh, by the way, that amount there with that Sharpie mark across there, that was, let me double check, that was enough also to, fill the reservoir as well. Let me double check that. This is not the greatest. Yep, that was enough to get a complete flush and fill the reservoir up all the way to the upper fill line. Now you might ask, gosh, how many times do you need to turn the steering wheel to completely cycle all that fluid out of there? I thought that'd be useful to know. So I had it up on jacks so the tires could go left and right, and jack stands, of course. And then I turned this so that I could I turned the key on, didn't start the engine, but just enough that then I could turn the steering wheel, would unlock the steering wheel, and I went completely left, all the way, completely right, 6 times. So all the way left, all the way right. I'll turn that noise off. 6 times, got out, refilled the reservoir. 6 times again, refilled the reservoir. 6 times again, refilled the reservoir. Then I got my wife to go out there and look at the tube and tell me to stop when that fluid started coming out clear. And literally the 4th time I got in front of the steering wheel, and I went once to the left, and I don't even think I had to go again the other half of that cycle. In other words, to the right. She said, it's coming out clear already. So boom, we stopped right there. I double checked and made sure, and sure enough, it was coming out clear already. So that's the deal. 6 left-right cycles times 3, and then 1 more, and that did it. Quick review, 2 quarts of this stuff, and I went all the way down to there. Sorry, all the way down to there to do a complete flush and refill the reservoir up to the upper fill line. And I still got this much left for the future. I use this kind of a little funnel here, which worked really well. Needle nose pliers to get that hose clamp off and back on. Yeah, pull these things out of the way. Make it easier on yourself. It's not super easy, but it's a lot harder if you leave those things plugged into their little brackets down there. You see how easy that just goes right back in there. Yeah, and then I forgot to tell you, when I pulled that hose off of there, there's your inlet tube. Stuff could leak out of there. Well, if this is up and out and on its side, it's not going to leak as much if you've done a good job draining it. Even at the end, when I had fluid in there, I had a plug over there. When I pulled the plug off, it still didn't leak because I was able to pull it up and have it on its side to be able to pull the plug off. And my plug was just this. I stole this idea from another guy. This is just a fingertip of a nitrile glove with a rubber band, and that's what I put on that little short piece of tube that comes off the side of your reservoir there to keep obviously the fresh fluid from leaking back out. Yeah, this is 5 feet long clear tubing, 3/8 inch on the outside diameter, and I just ran that through the bottom, right down to the bottom, to the garage floor, right through the engine compartment down there. Well, I hope that's helpful. It's not as neat and cool and complete as other people have done, and I'm sorry, I just finished the job, but I just wanted to be helpful and let you know, if you got a 2008 Honda Pilot, hopefully this helps you do it. I know there's better videos out there, but hey, you didn't have to see my face, right?